My wife went on a silent retreat with her rich friend. Except her friend was posting from Italy the whole time. I'm still trying to process what the hell just happened. My wife Alina just got back from what was supposed to be a week-long silent meditation retreat, and I'm starting to think nothing about that trip was what she told me. Some background. Alina's a kindergarten teacher, one of those genuinely sweet people who get stressed easily. We've been married 6 years and things have been fine. Not amazing, but fine. She's been really burnt out lately with work stuff, so when her friend Juliet invited her on this retreat, I actually encouraged her to go. Juliet Thorne is this woman Alina knows from college. They reconnected about a year ago. Juliet's one of those tech people who sold her startup and became stupid rich, like multimillionaire rich. She's always doing these elaborate wellness things, and honestly, she's a bit intense for my taste, but Alina seemed to enjoy having a friend with that kind of lifestyle. So 2 weeks ago, Juliet invited Alina to this 7-day silent spa retreat in the mountains. The whole pitch was very specific: all women, complete silence, no phones allowed, total digital detox, meditation, yoga, healthy food, the works. It was expensive as hell, but Juliet was paying for everything as a gift. Alina seemed nervous but excited. She's never done anything like that before. I had zero concerns, like none. It made perfect sense. Alina needed a break. The no phones thing explained why she wouldn't be texting much. It was all female, so no sketchy situation. And Juliet's a bit weird but not shady or anything. Alina left on a Tuesday morning. I drove her to the airport, kissed her goodbye, told her to relax and enjoy herself. She seemed anxious, but in that normal, I've never done this before way. First 2 days were quiet. She'd texted me once from the airport before boarding, then nothing. Expected, right? Silent retreat means silent. Then on Thursday I was scrolling Instagram and I saw Juliet's story. She was posting from freaking Venice, like clearly in Italy. Beautiful canal shots, espresso, the whole tourist thing. I stared at my phone for a solid minute. Juliet's supposed to be at some mountain retreat with my wife, but she was in Europe. I sent Alina a message. Hey babe, hope the retreat is going well, love you. 6 hours later she replied, it's good, tired, signal is weak here, talk soon Zoe, okay. Weird that there was signal at all if phones were banned, but maybe they had emergency check-in times or something. Then Juliet posted from Rome, then Positano. This woman was on a full Italian vacation. I texted Alina again, how's the retreat? Juliet's stories look like she's in Italy lol. Thought you guys were together. Alina's response came the next day. Can't really talk. Very intense program. Will explain when I get home. That's when my stomach started doing that thing where you know something was wrong but you couldn't put your finger on it. I called Juliet directly. It went to voicemail. I left a message asking if everything was okay with the retreat. She never called back. Alina came home yesterday and guys, she was different. I know that sounds vague, but I can't explain it better than that. She walked through the door and it was like looking at a slightly altered version of my wife. She was quiet. Way too quiet even for someone who just did a week of silence. Barely made eye contact. When I hugged her, she felt stiff. How was it? I asked. Good, really good. I'm exhausted though. Want to tell me about it? Maybe tomorrow, I just need to sleep. She went straight to the bedroom and crashed. I started unpacking her suitcase because I'm helpful like that, and that's when I found it. A boarding pass, printed, tucked into the side pocket of her luggage. Destination, Milan Malpensa Airport. Not some mountain retreat. Milan, Italy. I held that boarding pass for probably 10 minutes just staring at it. Then I went into our bedroom where Alina was already asleep and just watched her breathe, trying to figure out what the hell was going on. This morning I asked her about Italy. She looked panicked for a split second, then recovered. Oh, yeah. Juliet got invited to do a keynote speech in Milan last minute, so she shifted the retreat location to a place outside Florence. It was actually really beautiful. I didn't mention it because I didn't want you to think I was bragging about going to Italy or whatever. It sounded reasonable, almost. Except why would a silent retreat move internationally on short notice? Why wouldn't she have mentioned this before she left? Why did her text sound so evasive? I want to believe her. I really do. But I've got this sick feeling in my gut that won't go away. She's wearing a new bracelet I've never seen before. Delicate gold thing that probably cost more than I make in a month. And there's a silk scarf in her suitcase that definitely wasn't there before. When I asked about them, she said Juliet gave them to her as retreat gifts. Maybe I'm paranoid. Maybe there's a perfectly normal explanation. But something about the way she won't look me in the eye is making my skin crawl. Am I crazy here? What do I even ask at this point? Update 1. It's been 4 days since my original post. I wish I could say things got better. They got so much worse. Thanks for all the comments on my first post. A lot of you told me to contact Juliet directly, so I did. Yesterday afternoon I called her. It rang twice and she picked up. Grant, hey, is everything okay? Yeah, I wanted to ask you about the retreat. Alina just got back and she seems really off. Did something happen there? Long pause, like uncomfortably long. Grant, what retreat? My heart literally skipped. The silent retreat in the mountains, the one you invited Alina to. I didn't invite Alina to any retreat. The floor dropped out from under me. What? She said you invited her to a week-long silent retreat. Then she said it moved to Italy because you had a keynote speech. Grant, Juliet's voice got really serious. I've been in Europe for 3 weeks, solo trip. I haven't seen Alina since April. We had coffee and she mentioned being stressed and I said she should try a retreat sometime, but I never invited her to anything. I couldn't breathe. I sat down hard on the couch. So where the hell was my wife for a week? I don't know, but Grant, you need to talk to her, like now. I hung up and just sat there for probably 20 minutes trying to figure out how to even approach this. Alina was at work. I texted her, we need to talk when you get home, it's important. She came home around 4:30. I was waiting in the living room. What's wrong? She asked, already defensive. I talked to Juliet. Alina went white, actually white. She never invited you anywhere. She's been in Italy alone for 3 weeks. So where were you, Alina? Where the hell were you for a week? She started crying immediately. Not the gentle crying either, full body sobs, the kind where you can barely breathe. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Grant. I messed up so bad. I felt like I was watching this happen to someone else. What did you do? She couldn't get words out, just kept crying. Finally, she whispered, I need to show you something. She went to the bathroom and came back with a pregnancy test. Positive. My brain short-circuited. I'm pregnant. I did the math instantly. We haven't had sex in almost 2 months. We'd stopped trying after the miscarriage last year. It was too painful. We'd been careful, always careful. That's not possible, I said slowly. We haven't. It can't be mine. She collapsed onto the couch, still sobbing. I know it's not, Grant. I'm so sorry. The room was spinning. Who? I don't know, I laughed, actually laughed, because what else do? You don't know, Alina, what the actual hell does that mean? It means I don't know. She was almost screaming now. I don't remember. There was more than one and I don't remember. I stood up. I had to stand up or I was going to throw up. Start from the beginning, right now, all of it. She wiped her face, took a shaky breath and started talking. There's this woman Juliet knows, Aria. She does these events. Wellness retreats, but not like normal ones. They're exclusive, very private, for women who want to break out of their normal lives for a bit. Break out how? There's drinking, drugs, men, rich men. It's all very discreet. Aria sent me an invitation through Instagram 3 months ago. Said Juliet had recommended me. Juliet recommended you to a freaking sex party. It wasn't supposed to be about sex. It was about freedom and empowerment and trying new things. I was so stressed, Grant. So freaking stressed and tired, and I felt invisible. And the invitation made it sound like this enlightening experience where you could be anyone you wanted for a week. So you went. I went. I flew to Milan and it was at this gorgeous villa in Tuscany. Everything was beautiful and expensive and everyone there was so confident and wealthy and put together. The first night there was wine and music and everyone was dancing. Someone gave me something, I don't know, it felt amazing, like I was floating, like nothing mattered. I felt sick. There were these men. They were charming and attentive and made me feel beautiful. I kissed one of them, maybe 2. Things got blurry. Jesus Christ, Alina. I don't remember most of it. I swear to you, Grant, it's like pieces of a dream. I woke up the next morning alone in a bed and I didn't know where I was or what I'd done. The rest of the week was more of the same. I kept taking what they gave me because I didn't want to feel the shame. By the time I came home, I'd convinced myself it didn't really happen. That it was just a weird dream. Until you took the pregnancy test. Until I took the test. We sat in silence, I don't even know for how long. Finally, I asked, "Do you know any of their names?" She shook her head. "I remember faces, but not names except..." She stopped. "Except what?" "One of them. I think he said his name was Chris. He had dark hair and an expensive watch. He was very persistent. He kept finding me throughout the week." Chris, something about that name tickled the back of my brain. I grabbed my phone and called Juliet again. It was 10 p.m., but I didn't care. "Grant, did you know about someone named Arya, someone who throws these exclusive party events?" Silence. Then, oh my God, Grant, I think I know what happened. I'll call you back." She hung up. I looked at Alina, who was staring at her hands. "Pack a bag," I said. "What? Pack a bag and go stay with your sister. I need you out of the house right now." "Grant, please get out." She left 20 minutes later. I sat alone in our house, staring at the walls, wondering how my entire life had collapsed in less than a week. Juliet called back at midnight. "Grant, I'm so sorry. I do know Arya. She's a wellness influencer I met years ago. She does legitimate retreats, but I'd heard rumors about her exclusive events. I never thought. I mentioned to Alina once that she seemed stressed and should try something adventurous. I was talking about travel or a cooking class or something normal. I never dreamed she'd interpret that as permission to go to one of Arya's parties. Can you contact this Arya, find out what happened? I'll try. Grant, I'm coming back to the States tomorrow. We'll figure this out. I haven't slept. Alina's been texting me constantly, apologizing, begging me to talk to her. I haven't responded. I don't know what to do. I don't know if there's anything to do. My wife is pregnant with some random rich guy's baby and I don't even know who he is. How do you come back from this? Update 2. So after this update, I'm probably going dark for a while because I can't keep reliving this nightmare. Juliet flew back 2 days ago. She called me yesterday morning, voice shaking. Grant, I found out who it is. My stomach dropped. Who? It's my husband, Chris Thorne. I literally had to pull over. I was driving to work and I just stopped the car on the side of the road because I couldn't process what she just said. Your husband. I confronted Arya. She admitted Alina was at the event. She sent me photos. Grant, there are photos of my husband with your wife. I could hear her crying through the phone. I'm filing for divorce today, but you need to see these. You need to know what happened. She sent me a link. I clicked it, and there was my wife. Alina in a dress I'd never seen before, eyes glassy and unfocused, laughing at something. Chris Thorne next to her, hand on her waist. Another photo of them dancing, her head on his shoulder. Another of them walking down a hallway, his arm around her. The last photo was the worst. They were standing outside a bedroom door. He was leaning down, saying something to her. She was smiling up at him, her hand on his chest. I closed my eyes, but I could still see it. Juliet's voice cracked. There's video too, from the hallway camera. Arya sent it to me as proof. She sent it. In the video, Alina and Chris walked down the hallway, both clearly drunk or high or both. At the door, Chris said something I couldn't hear. Alina laughed, nodded. Then she reached up and pulled him down into a kiss. She kissed him first. She took his hand and led him into the room. The door closed behind them. I watched it 3 times, hoping I'd see something different. I didn't. Grant. Juliet's voice was small. I filed the paperwork this morning. I'm done. I can't look at him. What did he say when you confronted him? He said Alina was willing, that they were both consenting adults, that it was just physical and meant nothing. He acted like I was overreacting. Jesus. I know, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry Alina did this to you, and I'm sorry my husband was part of it. We stayed on the phone for another hour, 2 people whose spouses had betrayed them in the exact same place with the exact same lies. I called Alina. Did you know? I asked when she picked up. Know what? That Chris was Juliet's husband. Silence. Long, horrible silence. Oh my God. Did you know? No, Grant, I swear I had no idea. I didn't even know his last name. He just said his name was Chris and he worked in finance or something. Juliet sent me the video, Alina. She started crying again. What video? The hallway video of you leading him into that bedroom. I don't remember that. I don't remember doing that. I wasn't myself. I was on drugs. I didn't know what I was doing. But you knew enough to get on a plane to Italy. You knew enough to lie to me for weeks. You knew enough to go to that villa and take whatever they offered you. Grant, please, I want a divorce. I hung up. Then I texted my lawyer. Juliet and I have been talking every day since. We're the only two people who understand what this feels like. To have your spouse betray you with someone else's spouse. To be collateral damage in someone else's moment of freedom. Her divorce is moving faster than mine because they have a prenup. Chris is about to lose everything. Good. Alina hasn't stopped calling. She showed up at my apartment yesterday. I moved out last week, and I had to threaten to call the police before she'd leave. She keeps saying she doesn't remember, that she wasn't in control, that the drugs made her do things she'd never normally do. Maybe that's true. Maybe she really doesn't remember kissing Chris, or leading him into that room, or sleeping with him while I was at home thinking she was at some peaceful retreat finding herself. But she remembers lying to me. She remembers booking that trip. She remembers choosing to go. And that's the part I can't forgive. The baby is probably Chris's, though he's denying paternity until the DNA test comes back. I almost hope it's his, just so Alina has to face Juliet knowing she's raising the child of the man who destroyed both our marriages. I'm tired. I'm so freaking tired. Next update will be the last one, assuming there's anything left to tell. Final update. It's been over 10 months since everything exploded. I wasn't sure I'd post again, but what happened yesterday changed everything, and I need to get this out. The divorce was finalized. Alina and I are completely done. She had the baby last month, a boy. DNA confirmed it's Chris's. He has to pay for child support, but apparently he wants nothing to do with the baby. Alina has been texting me constantly since, always the same stuff about how sorry she is, how she was manipulated, how she wasn't in control. I eventually blocked her number 3 weeks ago. I moved to a studio apartment in Ravenswood in October. Got a rescue dog named Benny who's scared of everything but sleeps on my feet at night. My brother and I play basketball every Tuesday now, which has been good. Started seeing someone casually a few weeks ago, nothing serious. Life was starting to feel almost normal. Here's the thing though, lately I've been lying awake at night wondering if I was too harsh. Alina kept saying she didn't remember, that she was drugged, that Chris took advantage of her. Part of me started thinking, what if she was telling the truth? What if I abandoned my wife when she needed me most? What if she really was a victim and I just couldn't see past my own hurt? She did choose to go on that retreat by herself, but what happened after? If she really wasn't conscious enough to consent, that's a different story entirely. Then yesterday Juliet called. We've stayed in touch sporadically, mostly legal stuff about Chris, but we haven't actually met up since everything went down. Grant, I need to see you. It's important. It's about Alina and Chris. We met at a coffee shop in Lincoln Park this morning. Juliet looked different. She cut her hair short, looks healthier somehow. She sat down across from me and didn't waste time. I've been going through Chris's laptop for the divorce proceedings. My lawyer found some things. She pulled out her phone. Grant, they were having an affair, even before the Italy trip, for at least 4 months before. I felt my stomach drop. What? She showed me screenshots. Text messages between Alina and Chris starting from April. Flirty at first, then sexual, then planning meetings. Hotel receipts from June and July. Photos of them together at a bar I recognized, the one 3 blocks from my house. There's more, Juliet said quietly. Emails between them and Arya. They planned the whole thing together. Alina asked Arya to send her the invitation so she'd have proof to show you if you ever got suspicious. The retreat story, the silent spa, all of it, they coordinated it. She showed me an email from Alina to Chris dated 2 weeks before the trip. Grant believed the retreat story completely. We'll have the whole week. I'm so ready for this. I love you. I love you. My hands were shaking. The drugs, her saying she didn't remember. I found messages from after they got back. Chris texted her, stick to the story. You were drugged and don't remember. He'll never know we planned this. Alina responded, what if Juliet finds out? Chris, she won't. And if she does, same story, we were both victims of the party scene. I couldn't breathe. She's been lying this whole time. The pregnancy wasn't an accident either. There's a message from August where Alina tells Chris she stopped taking birth control in July because she wanted something permanent with him. She got pregnant on purpose, Grant. She wanted his baby. Juliet's hands were shaking as she scrolled through more messages. After you kicked her out, she and Chris kept meeting. She was staying at some extended stay hotel and he'd visit her. They only stopped when I filed for divorce and Chris's lawyer told him to cut contact. Jesus Christ. The crying, the apologies, I don't remember. It was all an act. She remembers everything. She planned everything. She chose him over you, and when it blew up, she tried to play victim so you'd feel guilty. We sat there in silence. I felt like someone had scooped out my insides. I'm sorry, Juliet said. I know you were starting to wonder if you'd been too hard on her. I was wondering the same thing about Chris, but this is who they are. They're not victims. They're just liars. She's right. Alina's been texting me for months, playing the traumatized wife, knowing the whole time that she'd orchestrated everything. She looked me in the eye and lied about not remembering, about being manipulated, about all of it. I drove home, walked Benny, and sat on my couch staring at the wall for probably 2 hours. Alina sent me a text this afternoon. She must have gotten a new number. Grant, please. I need to talk to you. The baby looks like you. What if we were wrong about the DNA? Please give me one more chance. The baby looks like you. She's still lying, still manipulating, even now. I forwarded the text to Juliet. She replied, don't engage. She's desperate. Chris stopped paying support last week and she's broke. So that's what this was really about. She burned through whatever money she had and now she's trying to crawl back. I forwarded the text to my lawyer. He sent her a formal cease and desist letter that afternoon. Any further attempts to contact me and we're filing for a restraining order. Then I deleted the text, blocked the new number. My date texted asking if I want to get dinner Friday. I said yes. My lease is up in 3 months and I'm thinking about moving closer to my brother's place in Logan Square. Benny's barking at the mailman outside. The Bulls game is on tonight. Life keeps moving forward. Without Alina, without the lies, without constantly wondering if I'm the crazy one for not believing her. I'm not crazy. She's just a really good liar. That's it. That's my final update. To everyone who told me to trust my gut from the beginning, you were right. To those who said some people will lie straight to your face even when caught, you were right too. Thanks for everything, Reddit. I'm done here. Edit. For everyone asking about the evidence, yes, Juliet's lawyer has all of it. Yes, it's being used in her divorce proceedings. No, I'm not going after Alina for anything beyond the divorce we already finalized. I just want her out of my life completely. Yes, she finally stopped trying to contact me after the cease and desist. And no, Juliet and I are not dating. We're just two people who got screwed over by the same two liars, helping each other survive it.